Okay, I got yet another bike in for stage 4. This is a 21 Road Glide. Customer's name is Kenny, very nice guy. He drove all the way from Maryland to come and get a stage 4. So the way we're gonna do this stage 4 is actually the way I like doing it. It's gonna be a full Cicada build. I'm gonna do a 1600.1 up in the fairing with an 800.4 at DSP. We are going to do the Cicada 6.5 CHs in the front. He doesn't have any lowers, so what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and put a lid kit on the bags, and we're going to drop in some sealed backs in there, just because we're going to go ahead and do the 10s. We're going to do the Cicada 10s. I am limited to speakers as far as the seal backs for the lids. I do a plate that's a 6x9 to 6.5 adapter, and I drop a tweeter in there too. So now I have full range sound coming from the lids. That is my favorite way of doing it. Some people don't like it. I personally do. For the people that know me, I like the bike saucy. So that's why I like to do that. Let me show you guys what we're gonna go ahead and put. We're definitely gonna go ahead, we're gonna add a lithium battery. So we do use Braille, as we're gonna go ahead and put. That's what this box is, and this is just a charger. All right, let's slap all this on there. All right, I got the bags pre-cut. I got the rings mounted in there. I'm gonna go ahead and use my hand router to trim everything down, make everything look nice. And then I'm gonna go ahead, put my Cicada 10 inside. I'm also gonna port the bags.
From what age did you know?
Say again?
From what age did you know?
I always knew.
Okay.
I just knew. Even when I was going to school and they're sitting there going, "You're not going to get a good job if you don't get good grades," I was the one sitting there going, "You're a liar. Shut up." I just knew the teacher was lying. I knew school was bullshit. I knew college was bullshit. I knew university was a lie. I always knew the teacher was wrong. I didn't truly understand things to the level I understand them now. But I have intrinsic understanding. I think everybody. None of them say school. I got an A.
All right, so I got the bag cut, sealed, and ported. And this is the final results. I did go ahead, and this port is epoxy, so I don't actually need this last screw. I know it's missing, I just don't want the shiny part sticking out of the tail. The lid kit. Okay. Very nice lid kit, sits perfectly. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna put a 6x9 to 6.5 adapter plate and a tweeter right here, 25mm horn. And it's gonna be a Beyma seal back. This way, you know, the pressure doesn't fight between the speakers and I don't blow something up. Put these things on the bike. Okay, first amplifier, the 1600.1 is fully installed underneath the radio. It's fully secured. This is, I think, the Metro rack or the Rockford app. The rack, I'm not too sure. Gotta check the box. But it's fully mounted. Nuts and bolts holding into amplifiers. And we got the bolts that fit into the factory holes holding up the tray. This is the wiring coming into the bike. Nice and neat. Gonna go ahead, put the headlight back in, make my special rack for the 800 that sits on top of the headlight. There's absolutely no cutting necessary for this. We're gonna go ahead and mount the DSP under here. I do use expanded PVC plate and then use these two holes to go ahead and mount the plate up. T-harness on this side, 800 on top, and factory radio back on top. Let's put this thing together. So I got everything mounted. I previously showed the 1600 underneath the radio. I got the radio back in here, and this is what I was talking about, a special mount on top of the headlight. So the reason why I do this is so that I don't have to cut or modify the factory headlight. A lot of people, what they do is they cut the tabs here, or they'll shave these tabs down. These aren't that important, I guess, but what's really important is to leave these things on, because if a customer wants to upgrade beyond this, wants to do a 12 and a 1600, they're gonna have to do a Lex rack. But for the Lex rack, you need to keep these. So if you cut these off to do this stage, then you can completely forget about doing the Lex rack. It needs those 2 tabs to put the nuts and bolts on the top. So you wouldn't be able to do that if you were to cut those off. So this is the rack that I make. I got the 1600 under the radio and the 800 on top of the headlight. Everything mounted, nut and bolted down together. I got the DSP mounted underneath the, I guess that's the left side fairing. This thing ain't going nowhere. I got my T-harness. We got the Cicada 6.5 CHs in the front, my favorite speaker. Factory radio. Dubbie bass knob. You know, all the basic stuff. All the essentials. Got a fuse holder. We did go ahead and upgrade the battery to a Braille lithium. We also did a ground upgrade, so this is the factory ground under here, and then this is your aftermarket ground that also goes to the factory ground post. I do not add another bolt. I figured out how I could fit as many wires as I want onto the factory one, so I don't have to make a new hole. Reason why I don't like making a new hole anymore. Some of the guys, they use these holes, these pre-existing holes for some of the air ride stuff, so I'd rather not go ahead and tamper with that. I got the Beyma seal backs and a Cicada horn, just as promised. So let's fire it up, close it up.
And I've been in Trillis. I'm a bigger problem when I cook with Skrillex. Murder on my mind, it's time to pray to God. My revolver's not religious, the revolution's born. You wanna know my name, to go and tell the son. You wanna know my name, Suicide Squad. Pistol on my waist, I might make a mistake. Headshot, oh my God, am I crazy? Drugs every corner, this is Gotham City. Killer pop, king and kidnap you, to cut out your kidney. Ain't no mercy, got that purple Lamborghini lurking. Rose, so she know that pussy wet. Flooded Rolex at the Grammy Awards. They still selling dope, that's those Miami boys. Killers everywhere, and ain't no place to run. Forgive me for my wrongs, I have just begun. Ain't no mercy, ain't no mercy. Got that purple Lamborghini lurking.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. It's not warm when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and she's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away, wonder this time where she's gone.
Carlos Ramirez, owner of Nvs Audio in Roselle, New Jersey. Kenny took the trip from Maryland to get the audio upgraded on his Road Glide.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What do you think?
Gotta come see the wizard, man. Let him work his magic.
Thank you for trusting us.
Yes, sir.
Have a safe ride home.
Appreciate it, boss.